Have you ever wondered if your dog secretly judges you? Maybe it's the way they tilt their head, or how they suddenly walk away during your heartfelt renditions of old love songs. But what if I told you that you might be doing something every single day that they genuinely despise? Yes, that adorable fluffball who looks up at you with those "I love you unconditionally" eyes might actually be harboring a tiny grudge. And here's the kicker: it's something you think is totally fine, even good for them. Intrigued? Well, stick around, because what I'm about to reveal might just blow your mind, and make you a better dog parent. Let's face it, we all want to be the perfect dog owner. The person whose pup wags their tail with uncontainable joy every time we so much as glance in their direction. But dogs, as loyal and loving as they are, have their limits. They have quirks, preferences, and yes, pet peeves. And believe it or not, some of the things we humans do with the best intentions fall squarely into the "why are you doing this to me?" category for them. Spoiler alert. You're probably guilty of at least one of these. For instance, have you ever been in the middle of giving your dog a bath and wondered why they look at you like you've committed the ultimate betrayal? To us, baths mean cleanliness, freshness, and the faint scent of lavender shampoo. To them, it's the canine equivalent of being forced to attend a 2-hour seminar on the history of lint. Sure, some dogs love water, but for many, bath time is a soapy nightmare they'd rather avoid. And yet, we keep doing it. Why? Because no one wants a dog that smells like an old sock left in the rain. But baths aren't the only thing they secretly hate. How about those long, affectionate hugs you give them? You know the ones where you pull them close and whisper, "You're my baby forever." Here's the truth. While you're feeling warm and fuzzy inside, your dog might be thinking, "Okay, this is getting weird. Can we not?" Dogs aren't naturally inclined to understand hugging as a form of affection. To them, it can feel restrictive and confusing, even though they tolerate it because, well, they love you. And then there's the dreaded dog sweater. Admit it. You've dressed your dog up at least once. Maybe it was a festive reindeer costume for Christmas or a cute little raincoat for a drizzly day. Sure, they looked adorable, but did you notice the side eye they gave you? Dogs don't care about fashion trends. If they could talk, they'd probably say, "Why are you wrapping me in this itchy thing when I already have fur?" It's like giving a human a second pair of eyebrows, it just doesn't make sense. Speaking of things that don't make sense, let's talk about those moments when you hover over your dog while they're eating. Maybe you're just checking to make sure they're enjoying the expensive grain-free kibble you splurged on. But from your dog's perspective, you're a giant looming over their food bowl, and that's not exactly comforting. In the wild, dogs protect their food fiercely, it's a survival instinct. So, when you hover, they might be thinking, "Do you want this? Are you about to take it? Please don't take it." And we can't forget the classic, forced playdate, scenario. You know the one. You meet another dog owner at the park, and suddenly it's decided that your dogs must become best friends. Never mind that your pup is clearly more interested in sniffing a random patch of grass than engaging with this new acquaintance. Dogs, much like humans, don't instantly like every stranger they meet. Forcing interactions can make them uncomfortable, even stressed. It's like being dragged to a party where you don't know anyone and the only snack available is celery. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: discipline. Have you ever raised your voice at your dog for chewing on your favorite pair of shoes or knocking over the trash can? While it's natural to feel frustrated in the moment, yelling doesn't communicate what you think it does. Dogs live in the now. They don't connect your anger to the chewed-up shoe from 10 minutes ago. Instead, they just think, "Wow, they're really upset." But why? It's confusing for them and, honestly, not very productive for you. One of the biggest daily mistakes dog owners make is forgetting that dogs need mental stimulation. Sure, you take them for a walk and toss the ball a few times, but is that really enough? Imagine being stuck in a room all day with no books, no phone, and no Netflix. You'd go stir crazy, right? Well, that's how your dog feels without proper mental enrichment. Puzzle toys, training sessions, and new experiences aren't just nice extras, they're essential for their happiness and well-being. Even though dogs are incredible at forgiving our everyday blunders, there are some seemingly small actions we often overlook that can leave them feeling puzzled. For example, have you ever given your dog mixed signals? Picture this. You tell them to sit, but then keep moving or giving them conflicting hand gestures. To us, it's harmless. To them, it's like being asked to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. Dogs thrive on consistency, so when we're unclear, they're left scratching their heads, sometimes literally. Let's not ignore the dreaded, fake throw game. Yes, it's hilarious watching your dog run halfway across the yard looking for a ball that's still in your hand. But have you noticed the moment they turn around and give you that seriously look? Dogs love playtime, but they also crave trust in their interactions with us. When you fake them out too often, you risk crossing the fine line between funny and frustrating. Ever tried forcing your dog to face their fear, thinking it'll help them get over it? Like dragging them closer to a vacuum cleaner or insisting they meet the neighbor's overly enthusiastic Great Dane? While exposure to new experiences can be positive when done gradually, throwing them into the deep end can backfire. Instead of conquering their fear, they might just learn to avoid you when the vacuum comes out next time. Building confidence takes time, and rushing it only creates more anxiety. How about the age-old temptation to compare your dog to others? Why can't you be more like Max? Max doesn't chew the couch. While you might never say it out loud, dogs can pick up on your energy. Each dog has a unique personality, quirks, and learning pace. Constantly expecting them to meet some imaginary standard is like someone expecting you to ace an Olympic sprint just because your neighbor runs marathons. Celebrate your dog's individuality, and you'll both be happier for it. Then there's the classic scenario of overstaying at the dog park. While some dogs love hours of socializing, others hit their limit after 20 minutes and just want to go home. Ignoring their body language, like frequent yawning, trying to retreat, or showing signs of stress, can lead to a less than pleasant experience for your pup. Think of it as dragging an introverted friend to an all-night rave. Fun for some, but definitely not for everyone. Now, let's address the weird human habit of laughing at a dog's naughty behavior. You've done it, haven't you? Your dog jumps on the table or steals a sock, and instead of correcting them, you chuckle at how clever or sneaky they are. Sure, it's funny in the moment, but dogs don't know the difference between you laughing at them versus cheering them on. To them, your laughter might as well mean, "Great job. Do it again," and they will, usually at the most inconvenient time. The beauty of dogs is that they're endlessly patient with us, even when we're fumbling through figuring out what they need. But by paying attention to the little things, we can improve their lives in ways that bring even more joy to our bond. Your dog might not be able to say, "Hey, I didn't love that," but their body language and behavior speak volumes, if only we take the time to listen. Oh, and let's not forget the overuse of commands. Yes, dogs are incredibly smart, but that doesn't mean they want to hear, "sit," "stay," and "no" on repeat like a broken record. Imagine if someone followed you around all day, constantly telling you to stand up, or stop doing that. Annoying, right? Dogs need structure, but they also need freedom to just be themselves. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is let them enjoy the simple pleasures of life, sniffing, exploring, and rolling in something you'd rather not think about. But here's the good news. Dogs are incredibly forgiving. They don't hold grudges or dwell on your mistakes. As long as you're trying to understand their needs and make their life as joyful as possible, they'll keep loving you with all their heart. So, the next time you catch yourself doing something your dog might hate, take a moment to reflect. Could you change your approach? Could you try something new that they'd enjoy? Remember, the bond you share with your dog is built on love, trust, and mutual respect. By the way, if you're sitting there nodding along, thinking, "I've definitely done at least one of these things," don't worry, you're not alone. Every dog owner makes mistakes. What matters is that you're learning and growing, just like your dog. And who knows? Maybe next time, your dog will give you that wag of approval you've been waiting for. Until then, keep loving them, keep laughing at their quirks, and most importantly, keep being the best dog parent you can be. Because at the end of the day, even if you make a few missteps, your dog thinks you're the greatest thing in their world, and that's what really counts.